Assemblyman Dante Acosta, and we're asking about fires and disaster and emergency prep, and if there's any sort of bills or anything going on legislatively that we can kind of address some of that, because as you know, in California, especially in our valley, every time this year there's concern about wildfires, and there's concern. I mean, is the funding for that part of the equation? Is there anything that we can look at as far as what's going on with disasters and earthquakes, anything like that?
Sure. In one of my committees, the like I said, the Natural Resources Committee,
Right.
we actually it's tangentially related, but we
Okay.
actually just had a great hearing. It seemed like yesterday, but it was probably 2 months ago, where we talked about wildland fires, because one of the concerns obviously we have is with climate change and
Right.
carbon emissions in the air and those
Right.
kinds of things, and one fire poof is a lot more than all the chimneys that we have in the wintertime.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about the pollution impacts of the wildfire,
Huge.
and that kind of thing with the smoke. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at some of the fires that we've had, the wildland fires, we haven't been doing a good job managing our forests, and we've let the forests get too thick. We haven't been able to thin them. So that's a process that we're starting to see the environmental community come to the table with the mitigating these issues, because you can't protect the wildlife and the trees if we burn them all up, in a wildland fire. So those are some of the things that we're working on. We're always working on funding, and
Right.
Cal Fire and
Okay.
others, need more funding in order to do their job correctly, and I'm all for that.
It's a tricky situation, and as far as that goes, it's just a matter of just figuring out the best way to get more resources, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I learned something this year up in Sacramento,
Oh,
and
what's that?
it's a phrase that they like to use. So where are you going to take it from?
Oh,
in other words,
okay.
you want this. Where are you taking it from?
Sure. What's the cut?
Yeah,
Where's the give and the take?
and I learned that with my foster youth bill. That unfortunately,
okay.
we weren't successful with this year, but we will be. And that's to help our foster kids. And it was like, well, where are you going to take it from? And you look at the state budget, $125.4 billion in the general fund alone, and you say, well, I needed $15 million to help take care of our foster kids. So that's challenging, but we were very successful in some of the things that we're trying to do for our community. I had a public safety bill that's passed. It's over in the Senate now, and some other things. And we're
Is that the one addressing road concerns or driving habits, or which one? Which
No,
public safety bill is
the
that?
public safety bill specifically that passes AB 539, and that is
Is that the package?
privacy. It's the privacy bill, the invasion of privacy.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. Briefly, what it does is the DAs brought it to me, and they said, we cannot get search warrants, or law enforcement can't, if someone has used their phone or their device, for example, in a dressing room or in an inappropriate place to take photos of someone, or if they have photos of their boyfriend or girlfriend and they want to put them on the internet, they haven't been able to get a search warrant for that device because it's a misdemeanor, and they don't get search warrants. So they said, we need you to write this, this bill. So we did. We carried it, and we were very successful. It was
And that's gone
unanimous.
through?
That bill is in the Senate. It should pass, and the governor should sign it, and that gives them the law enforcement the tools they need in order to prosecute these invasion of privacy cases, and it's a good bill.
What, if any, can you glean from your first sessions up there, because you were elected in November, as far as the trick to getting bipartisan support for an issue, because it's tough, and you're up against, as a Republican in a majority Democratic Party controlled legislature. So, I mean, how do you do that when you get a bill like that across? Where's the drive?
I think you have to look for things and ways to appeal to the other legislators, either their districts or their hot buttons, something that they're keenly interested in. So, for example, if it's an environmental issue, how do we do that? If it's jobs, maybe a workforce development component. So that's why you see a lot of bills that have a few other related issues into them, and try to bring people together. But building coalitions is something that I've often done in my career, and I think that's something that we're continuing to work on. Our freshman class is pretty large. It's 22. I'm probably messing that up.
That helps, though, right?
It
If
does.
you have a lot
It
of other
does.
people in the same kind of boat as you.
Yeah, we have freshmen, and we were training together for a couple of weeks, and we hang out together off and on. And there's still some partisanship, but
Sure.
But we have a lot of bipartisanship. We just had a great bipartisan dinner the other night where we all got together in someone's backyard, and it was like shorts and t-shirts and just having some iced tea or your favorite beverage, and really just being able to talk to people and relate to them as other Californians. And we have a diverse state, and we need
That's
to
really
be able to
interesting.
continue to work together on these issues.
And I'm curious, as an outsider, how much of policy is written kind of outside of the halls of Sacramento? You know what I mean? How much of those events go towards what we see in our law books?
Quite a bit, actually, from my experience. You'll all be jumping in the car for a ride to the airport or to this event. They kind of vanned us over. It's like a 10-minute drive, 15-minute drive. And, you find yourself, the only Republican in a car full of Democrats, or vice versa, and you joke. And
I'm
you
sure
have
it's
a good
more that
time.
than vice versa.
Yeah, I was trying, yeah. And it's a lot of fun. And we rib each other, but at the end of the day, we sit there and we talk, and you get to know people on a little more personal level. Like, well, I didn't know you like to do X, and you find out there's a legislative softball game coming up. If my elbow improves dramatically between now and then, I might be able to play. But
wait a second, he plays softball.
Oh yeah,
Wait
we're going to sign him. Tori's going to sign you up for the KHTS team.
Yeah.
First of all, let's talk about 4th of July before we get to the fun questions. You're going to be at the parade?
I am going to be at the parade.
Okay, so here's
In the parade.
Here's this. You're going to start with the pancakes?
Well, in the morning, yes, Rotary Pancake Breakfast
Right.
before the parade, absolutely, every year, right
Starts
there.
at 6:30.
It starts at 6:30. Thank
Right.
you very much.
Okay, so here's the issue.
Where at
and we
6:30
need
can we
to-
get these pancakes?
We
Hold on.
right down. No, it's
Roger
right down.
Dunn Golf Shop parking lot,
You can't
Good to
miss it
know.
because there's a band
Right by
plays
the
and
parade.
a long
Yeah.
line.
It all makes sense.
$4, and it's big. You get sausage, the whole bit. Here's the issue at hand.
excited.
I'm very excited. I've been talking about the pancakes all week. I'm not going to
True
lie.
story.
It's not kidding around. But here's the issue. I've just realized I'm going to be on the air between 6 and 9 because we're helping everyone.
Here
We're doing
comes the
something
ask.
very
Here comes the ask.
very different this year, and
Somebody- yeah,
you'll be
I
so
can
proud
hear.
of us because we've never done this before. We've only announced out front. What we're doing this year is we're helping with the parking situation. We have a golf cart. We're going to be looking at parking situations and where you can sit and when it gets crowded and when the parade ends. And so we're going to be on the air. We're going to be out front. And I just realized I need to be sitting here at 6 o'clock. I'm
Sans
panicking about the
pancakes.
pancakes.
Sans
So,
pancakes.
So what you're saying is you need us to deliver you some pancakes, Tori.
if I provide you with a golf cart, would you be so kind?
And $4.
It's only a
And
block.
$4.
Yeah, don't forget the $4.
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
It's $2. I mean, 2 blocks. I think I can walk
Talking
it.
about
but-
fiscal prudency here. He's
It's
not
$4,
just throwing
yeah.
around pancakes for free.
If we
Matter of
provide
fact.
you with the golf cart, could you possibly
Somehow figure it out?
help a girl out?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
And a great way for people to be connected to what's happening on 4th of July is the KHTS app. So be sure to
Yes,
download the
yes,
free
yes.
KHTS app on your iPhone and your
Yes.
Android device. Now you can listen to KHTS wherever you are. You can also access KHTS news, social media, and more. The easiest way to get your app is by going to your Google Play or App Store and search KHTS.
Hire-
Folks, Dante Acosta.
hire that
Assemblyman
man.
Dante
Hire
Acosta
that
in
man.
the
I
studio.
do characters as well if you want me to do
Plug in
it in
the app.
character
And
next
it's
time.
free.
The great part about the app, I know we're kidding around because you did such a great read on that, but the great part about the app is that we will, once you get out of your car, you should have the app with you because here's the deal. If you go to get pancakes and you want to set up your stuff
When you
on
go
the
to get
street-
pancakes.
Right.
Okay.
It's my fault. I'm sorry. I apologize. When you get pancakes, you want to save a spot on the street. And as soon as those spots start going, you want to have the app with you because that's what we're helping you with. If a certain section is all full, we're going to tell you where there's an empty space. So
idea.
we are all over this. We're all over this. Okay, now time for can we have some fun?
Yes,
All
let's
right,
go.
have some
Let's
fun.
do the fast.
All right, we have what's called the KHTS Fast Five. And the point of this is that I'm going to throw these questions at you. You can't really think about it. You got to do it. It's like this. It's like this. Okay? 5 questions that quickly. Let's see what you come up with. Are you
Okay,
scared? Are you
I'm
nervous?
ready.
Are you scared?
A little bit,
A
but
little bit? You should,
but,
okay, you should.
I probably
okay.
should be.
Question number 1. If you didn't have to sleep at all, what would you do with that extra time? If you didn't have to sleep.
Read.
What job would you be terrible at?
Making a schedule for myself or someone else. Keep being my scheduler. Terrible.
Do you have one of those people? Do you have an assistant?
I absolutely do because otherwise I wouldn't even be here.
That's
True story.
Thank God for technology.
all right. Very important question. Aliens just landed in Santa Clarita.
Cool.
You're in charge of giving them a tour. Where would you take them first?
First, Oh, that's a loaded question. I have a bias because I grew up in the industry and whatnot. I'd probably take them to something like Melody Ranch and show them what the Old West looked like.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Nice answer.
There's so many
Traditional
choices.
was Magic Mountain.
Magic Mountain, but I mixed it up because I've heard that answer before, so I mixed it up.
Sure.
What are some small things that make your day better? Small things that make your day better.
Nice people. Someone just being polite and reciprocating.
Perhaps Perry, perhaps Tori.
Perry and Tori.
Wow, fishing
For
pretty
sure.
hard.
Now it's Tori, but yeah.
Wait on the line. All right.
Last question.
Uh-huh.
What is something that is considered a luxury, but you don't think you could live without?
Now it would probably be, I don't know if it's considered a luxury anymore. Our cell phones and the internet, it's not really a luxury anymore. Maybe to some people in some parts of the world.
I don't know. Those phones are getting pretty expensive.
They
in my
are.
world, it might
And
be
they
a
do
luxury.
everything. And they do everything. Let's be real.
That
They-
wasn't
they do.
so hard. Were you scared? Were you nervous?
I shouldn't have been. That was so easy and
passed with
just
flying
easy.
colors.
He did
Thank
pass?
you.
Okay, we're not-
I thought it was going to be,
gonna
Doug
check the
Sutton's
grades.
boxer briefs question or something. That was good. That you didn't ask that, and you're not going to now. Okay, we're going to
No.
commercial now. Time for traffic on the
there.
8s.
So the next time we get to see you, you'll be just milling around on
Flipping
the floor.
pancakes.
No,
Flipping
I will be
jacks.
doing pancakes in the morning for a little bit.
Are
and
you
then
actually flipping?
They generally let me flip. They call it my photo op, which is really. I mean, come on, guys. I've been in the
They do
Rotary
one
Club for many
ceremonial
years.
giant
I do a
pancake,
giant
right, with the
ceremony.
tape.
Yeah, make sure you're there with your camera, and I'm there for a little bit, and then I have to report into the car I'm riding in at 8 a.m. and then I'll do it. So you've got to get me between 7 and 8 a.m. to get you your pancakes, something like that. But
have
we'll
done.
make it happen.
You know what? I'll call your people.
Call.
Apparently,
The scheduler. And
The
we just
scheduler,
found out is the
yes.
person you need to speak with.
Yes, if you want to get anything done, you got to call.
it has been
my
so much
scheduler.
fun, and
We all
thank
have
you so
schedulers,
much.
by the way. That's not a luxury that
Very-
I
No,
only
that
have.
is
We
a
all
luxury
have
for
to
you.
have.
But
For me,
I need
First
a
of all, Perry
scheduler.
needs one so bad that you have no idea.
You can't
I
have
just got pointed into the direction of the studio.
You have no idea how much he needs a
Dante's here.
scheduler. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this afternoon and having fun with us too. And we will see you on Tuesday, pancakes in hand, flipping pancakes. What?
I know. Just talking about. I'm getting hungry too.
And
Sausage.
what do you drive? What do you? What's the float?
Oh yeah. What do you?
I don't know. It's going to be a surprise. I think I'm just in some kind of convertible,
classic car
wonderful
maybe,
thing.
or something?
They
don't take
she's
you to
right
let
out
you pick
there.
out your wheel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We need to
Okay.
talk
Linda's
to
right
the
outside. I
scheduler.
should
So
have
where's
asked
the
her.
scheduler?
Yeah, she probably knows. I'll look on my phone and it probably tells you.
You
report
are
here
not
and you're-
kidding.
Yeah, I know. These days we're pretty busy. So
Thank you again
Good
for
deal.
taking
Thank
the
you so
time.
much,
I
Acosta.
appreciate it so much.